Welcome to this DaVinci Resolve Fusion node breakdown. Today's node is the uDistant light node. So we're going to jump into Fusion and we're going to look for a uDistant light. So hit Shift Space, uDistant light. And we're going to go ahead and input that into our merge. And what the uDistant light node is used, it's similar to a directional light, but it simulates a distant light source. So kind of like a sunlight or a light off in the distance. So in order to see this, let's go ahead and go to our render and we're going to hit scene and we're going to enable shadows and jump into our render. So if we look at our actual light, you can see it is a distant light, kind of just like in our 3D nodes. And on our distant light, it doesn't matter where it's located. On the X, the Y, and the Z, the light is always going to cast the same. What does matter is your rotation. And this is why your rotation are your only choices for transforming them. Now, transforming or rotating on the Z isn't going to do anything. It's not going to change your shadow because it's just turning on the Z axis. So Z is a moot point, even though making this rotate will show some weird artifacts in your shadow changing. But we can change it on the X and the Y to change the direction of your distant light. So let's go ahead and jump on our render and change our location. So I can change this on the X and you see we've got odd artifacting going, and I can change it on the Y. Now, under our controls, we can change our light color independently on the red, the green, and the blue. We can change our intensity, and as with the other lights, 1 is 100%, 0.5 is 50%, and so on. We can adjust our exposure to raise or lower the exposure. We can enable or disable color temperature to use color temperature instead of color. And our diffuse response is going to change how much that interacts with our diffuse material and how much that interacts with our specular material. Our normalize intensity is going to normalize the lighting across the entire scene. If we uncheck that, we can change our angular size of that lighting. And under our shadows, we can enable or disable the shadows, and we can change our color. We can change it independently on the red, the green, and the blue channel. We can change our density of the shadow. We can change the softness of our shadow, the softness quality of our shadow. We can change our map size, and our map size is going to affect or correct some of these weird artifacting we've got going on here in our shadows. So I'll just make this 2160, and that helps it out a little bit. And we can change our map bias and our map offset for our shadow. Now, someone had asked the other day in our little community about the uDome light we went over and asked about shadows on the uDome light. And I'll show you here in a second. It does cast shadows, but on objects itself, it doesn't make objects cast shadows on other objects. So let me show you that. Because the distance light is something you would use in conjunction with your uDome light if you want to simulate sunlight. It doesn't do it great because it adds additional colors, but it does a decent job. But by no means is this anything that's, say, Blender or Houdini responsive. You know, it's not going to do the same things as those dedicated 3D programs. So let's disconnect our distant light and let's bring in a uDome light. We're going to input that. Let's go ahead and grab an HDRI. So now we've got an HDRI going on, and to be able to see it, we go to our render, enable our sky dome. We can go here and we can rotate our little HDRI on the Y to change its location. And if you notice, as we change the lighting, it's casting shadows on our object. It's changing the shadows of our object itself, but it's not casting shadows on other objects. So no matter how we rotate this, it's not casting shadows on other objects. And if you notice, we have no shadow options within our little dome light here. But what you can do is you can use a distant light, and we can go to our distant light, and to be able to get our light color, let's go ahead and transform this until we see our light. Go to our distant light, we can select our picker and pick the color of our light. And then this is going to take a little finagling to be able to get rid of these additional light colors that are going on. So what we could do is we could change our angular size so it's super bright. And we can lower the intensity of the actual light. We can lower our exposure and just keep bringing these up till we're seeing shadows but not seeing so much light color. And you can flip back and forth to see how much light is going on. And obviously we want to situate our light correctly, so let's go ahead and switch this to where we want it. And we would need our light casting this way, so we go to our distant light, transform it to swing that light around. And now you can see we're casting shadows using our distant light and our dome light, but it just takes a little work, so we're not getting too much color from this distant light going into our HDR lighting. So you can increase the shadow density and play with your little angular size there to get that shadow to pop up more. And that's how you would add shadows for your dome light onto other objects, is in conjunction with this distant light. That's one way. So that is the distant light node. I will see you in the next node breakdown.